Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I am Chef Mac, and this is my show. Now, hopefully, this is informative to a lot of you out there. I'll be making a couple of dishes here and there, doing a little cooking. This dish I picked today is, well, bachelor, bachelorette, maybe a single parent, something like that. It's a simple dish, a dessert, or, a little snack or something. And if you got kids, you can get your kids involved in making this dish also. It's pretty simple. It's called rice pudding. Now, before we get started, the first thing you're going to want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. We're going to go ahead and set our oven for 350. Go ahead and let that preheat. Now, before we get started, let's go ahead and have an ingredients breakdown. Okay, now the first thing you want to do, we need a pot similar like this to boil your rice in. Now, I'm making a half pan of rice pudding. So my ingredients that I'm calling for requires a half pan. Now, a pot like this that you're going to boil your rice in, it's going to be 2 cups of rice. So this pot, I'm only going to fill it up halfway, and then once it starts to boil, then I'm going to add the rice. As you can see, I have only filled the pot up halfway, and now I'm going to turn it on high. And I'm not going to add the rice till after the water starts to boil. So now that the water is boiling, we're going to take our measuring cup and we're going to have 2 cups of rice. Ready? Now, once the water boils, we add the rice. Now, our water has come to a boil, so it's time to add the rice. Now, the secret to boiling rice, especially this white grain rice, is you have to keep stirring it. Every 5-10 minutes, you got to stir it. You don't want the rice to stick to the bottom. And you don't want the rice to stick to each other and have a big mushy mush. You want to keep the rice separate. You keep stirring it, it'll keep it separate, it'll cook evenly, and it won't stick on the bottom. So every 5 minutes or so, we'll come back and keep stirring it. I like to come back every 5 minutes and give it a stir to make sure nothing's sticking, everything is smooth. Just cover the whole surface of the bottom to make sure that everything is cooking evenly, cooking right, not sticking on the bottom. And the rice is fluffing up. But it is not done. So we'll wait another 5 minutes. Okay, it's been 5 more minutes and we are getting there. rice is fluffing up real good. Make sure it's not sticking. Once it is in there. So right now we've been about 10 minutes. I'd say another 5 or 10 minutes and rice should be done. Alright, I think we are about there with the rice. So we're waiting on the water. Once the water evaporates out, almost done. And I did take one of the grains of rice and kind of chewed on it. And it's a little hard, but when you bake it, it's going to cook it all the way through. So the rice is now ready to strain. Now that the rice is done, you prepare everything else, which is pretty much a custard with rice in it. If you eliminate the rice, it could be a custard. You could put it in a pie crust, make a custard pie, even cook it in a pan and make custard. It's nice little simple dish. It's like pudding. It's really good. I like it. And the ingredients that's what I like about it. The ingredients are real simple. It's stuff that you probably already got in your cabinet and your refrigerator. So we prepare the pan, which I take the pan, no stick. You want to put this in your pan because the rice pudding will stick if you don't spray the pan really good. I spray the sides, then I spray the bottom. Make sure you cover the whole pan so that the rice pudding does not stick. And another thing I want to tell you, I preheat the oven at 350 because I don't want to do 400 because that would make the bottom of it kind of hard. You want to cook it kind of slow. 350 is a comfortable degree to cook it at where it cooks smoothly and it's got that jello-y texture all through the rice pudding. You don't want to cook it too fast. 400 or 500 now. About 300, 350, something like that. And at 350, we're going to go about maybe 30 minutes or something like that. But let's go ahead and prepare the custard. The pan is prepped. We're going to set that over here before we add all our ingredients. Now, first, we're going with 2 eggs. 2 eggs, because the eggs give it the texture to grip. Give it that pudding effect. It's not real soupy, real watery. So you want to add a couple of eggs. Now next, you want to add sugar. Now, you're going to use quite a bit of sugar for rice pudding. We have 2 cups of rice, so we want 1 3/4 cup of sugar. Because what happens is, when you're boiling the rice, or cooking it, it's going to absorb the sugar. And when you're boiling it, it's absorbing the water. But you want to use enough sugar so it doesn't have a bitter taste. If you don't use enough sugar, it's going to be real bittery. So you want the sugar to almost match the amount of rice that you put in there. And that'll give it a nice sweet flavor. But if you're making just custard, say I'm making custard, I would only use maybe a half a cup of sugar. You don't need that much sugar if it's custard because the rice is absorbing the sugar. That's why you're using more rice with rice pudding. So we're going to use 1 3/4 cup of sugar. All right, now vanilla flavoring. This gives it that nice sweet vanilla flavor. You don't want vanilla extract. You want vanilla flavoring. It'll say like imitation vanilla. That's vanilla flavoring. If you get the vanilla extract, it's going to be nasty and bitter. Vanilla extract is for other cooking, not this. For this, you want the vanilla flavoring. Now, want to use about maybe 3 ounces of vanilla flavoring. I'm going to just kind of wing it and put some dab in there, about 3 ounces. That's it. Really about 3 ounces should be good, but just enough to give it a little sweetness. And trust me, you'll taste the sweetness. Now we want the milk. Okay, you've used 2 cups of sugar. So actually, we want to try to almost fill this up with milk, which I'm guessing 4 cups. Let's find out. We'll take 2 cups here. Two more cups, so about 4 cups of milk. Actually, 5 cups of milk. Go another cup. About 5 cups of milk. Then we're going to blend all this together. Then we're going to add the rice and this custard. Then we're going to put the nutmeg. We're going to sprinkle that on top after we get it prepared. Now that our ingredients are in the blender, we blend them all together. Okay, so now it is time to prepare the pudding. First thing, add the rice. Now I spread the rice out evenly at the bottom of the pan. Then we're going to take our custard, pour it in there. Yeah, I'm going to kind of chop it up, make sure everything's smooth in there. Rice is spread out, no clumps or chunks, nothing like that. Now we're going to take our nutmeg. We're going to sprinkle it across the top. And now the rice pudding is ready to go in the oven. Like I say, I like my food to cook slow. So I'm putting this on the top shelf so that the bottom does not cook too fast, get too hard. I got it going at 350. So we will check it in about 15 minutes. It's probably going to take about 30 to 45 minutes for it to cook all the way through. But we will take a look at it in 15 minutes and see what it looks like. I will show you what you will be looking for the completion of it being done. Okay, it's been roughly 20 minutes or so, and you see it's still very, very soupy. So this is going to take a minute. It should have like a jello effect in the center when it's almost ready, but that's still real soupy, so we'll let it go for another 15-20 minutes or so. Well, we still have a little ways to go for the rice pudding to get done, so how about we take a short commercial break and we will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. The rice pudding should be almost ready. Let's give it a check and see what we're looking at. Okay, so we have been roughly an hour and 20 minutes. And okay, you see how we got that effect now, that jello-y effect and everything. So we are all done here. You see it's not soupy or watery. Probably a little soupy in the middle, but it's got that jello-y effect. So we are ready to pull. And this is the finished product, rice pudding. And now comes the big test, the taste test, and see how well we did. Okay, everyone, are we ready? Let's see, stick this corner right here. All right. Hot. Perfect. Perfect. This is good. Now, pay attention when I make something, because when I cook, I'm not one to actually do the portioning on the ingredients. I kind of play it by ear. I kind of guessed on the portions. Looks like I came pretty close on everything. But just pay attention to how I make it. You make it exactly the same way, it come out good. Now, this is the perfect sweetness for me. Now, if you got a sweet tooth, it is sweet. It's not bitter. It's good and sweet. Sweet enough for me. But if you want a little sweeter, you can add more sugar. But this is perfect for me. But hey, play with the recipe. You know, make it for the kids. Let the kids help you make it. It's a perfect, simple little recipe. So until next time, people, I guess we'll be talking to you later. And we will see you on the next show. And have a good one. Thank you for watching. And please, 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 if you can, like this video and all the other videos. And please subscribe. Thank you very much. Till next time.